So the holiday season is in full swing.
It definitely is.
And to celebrate, a lot of people usually like to, pop off a little bit.
Oh, wow. Pop off and...
Sometimes that's what causes a family squabble.
That's true. The popping off after popping off.
After popping off. But today we're actually going to eliminate that part because we have nothing to squabble about.
No squabbling here.
We're just going to pop off with a sparkling beverage that possibly
Correct.
you may want to use at one of your holiday get-togethers, your socially distanced holiday get-together.
Keep it safe, everyone.
So we've got a sparkling wine for this. Give it a shot. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith, and we are AboutBeverages.com. And the beverage that we're about today is the Trader Joe's Platinum Reserve Sonoma Brut Sparkling Wine.
Nice. You were kind enough. We were discussing the other day about I was like, hey, do you have any ideas for what we should podcast on? Maybe something for the end of the year. You gave a few different options, and this is the one you were kind enough to take the one that I chose because I was like, well, that one sounds interesting.
I'm interested in that one.
I'm interested in the one that's the most expensive.
It also happened to be the one with the most easily accessible graphics.
Yes.
Everything just fell into place.
Everything did fall into place.
The new year is fast approaching, so you could use this once again, potentially at your New Year's celebrations or at any celebration. And sparkling wine is one of those things that I open some up usually on New Year's, and I think I enjoy this. Why don't I drink this more often throughout the year? And then I always wind up opting for beer or wine or something else. But I actually do enjoy a good champagne or sparkling wine or Prosecco if it's from Italy, Cava if it's from Spain. So those
are all beautiful names. What do we call it here in the U.S.?
We call it sparkling wine.
Sparkling wine.
Which it is.
Wow, so original.
A wine with bubbles.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm usually the opposite.
What's that?
I have a little champagne. I'm like, this is, I'm good.
I understand why I don't drink it.
I'm good. Yeah. Like, it's never like, it's not that it's bad. There's just usually not a lot of flavor there. And usually depending on the one I've had, usually there seems to be always like more of that, I don't know. It's like a more alcohol vinegar kind of thing. Like, I don't know. There's something in there that just doesn't like, I'm like, oh, I'd rather just have a actual just Chardonnay or a Sauvignon Blanc or something like that. The bubbly like never really adds something to it, but I'm hoping this one, which is, again, we don't really actually know what winery has created this.
We don't.
Unless you're lying to me and just don't want to tell me.
I'm not.
Okay. He is not. We don't know where this has actually come from, but since it is the platinum line, this is definitely one of the more expensive. Usually getting up there with when it comes to Trader Joe's and their wine specifically that have their label on it.
Right. We have a variety of reserve labels at Trader Joe's, and the Platinum Reserve is the highest. There is one other time I've seen Diamond, but it's only once in all of the years that I've worked for Trader Joe's. It's only, which is almost 16 now. But
was there like a glow from the back room, and it was like the Ark of the Covenant? You're like, what is it? They're like, don't look at that. It's the Diamond line.
Look away.
We only get in 2 of those. You have to be at a certain level to actually even look at it or stock it for that matter.
And these are $14.99, but if the winery that produced the wine for us, or produced the sparkling wine in this case for us, were actually to put it under their label, the odds are it would be a 25, 30, 35, in some cases even more, depending on where the actual area, the actual winery that it's from.
There is a lot of force behind that.
Yeah, so just slowly.
Oh man, I don't know if you can see. You might want to rewind that one back. You can see the tension on my face.
We got the...
I think I'm okay.
That was it? Oh,
yeah.
Nope.
No, I was the explosive properties that were about to happen right there. I'm used to opening, like I've opened usually a lot of these different, like I said, when it comes to the stuff that's more carbonated that has corks, I'm like, oh, okay, it's fine. And you get to that one point, you're like, and you just kind of like, this all sounds like, oh God, there's more for it. I've really got to go easy on this one. Easy there, big fella. Easy.
So the grapes that are involved in this one are Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Pinot Meunier. I believe that's the right pronunciation. If I'm wrong, please let us know. But that's a kind of a standard blend that you'll see in Blanc de Blancs, which is what I believe this is. So
now, like if you actually talk, real champagne or something like that, like I said, is that obviously a varietal from that region, or is it still a blend but in that region of France?
I don't know 100%.
Probably okay.
Yeah, usually it's going to be a blend of varietals from if it's from Champagne, then it's going to be from the Champagne region.
Okay, from that. Because that's the only place that actually can call it champagne. That's the whole kind of joke about it. Is that like it's also just a sparkling wine, but they call it champagne because it's from that region. And
right. Isn't there's a Rob Lowe thing from Wayne's World, right, where he talks about champagne?
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually. when I was pouring it, and because of the bubbles, I thought it was literally like crystal clear, like light, but it's actually not. It's definitely more into that straw kind of territory.
Yeah, that's a little bit of very clear. Obviously, you can see the bubbles going like crazy, and yellow. Absolutely.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of carbonation here. Is this wine something gone wrong? No, I'm just kidding.
This is a sparkling wine or something?
Yeah,
yeah, it is.
Yeah, look at this is how they kept in all that force. Look at the fat end of that cork.
Yeah,
it's no joke.
Yeah,
I want to see.
It has that little cage on there.
I want to see the machine that puts that in.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's like probably a quarter to a third bigger. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually has a very nice aroma. Like I said, it's a little sweeter than I thought was going to come through.
Okay.
I was kind of ready for that like little bit sharper kind of nose, and definitely there is some of that in there. But it has a nice, like I said, there's a nice sweet in there. There's almost, I'm sure they didn't, but it almost seems like there's a little like oakiness to it. There's a little something in there.
Might have spent some time in there. I don't know how much, but I get it's kind of the classic, or for me, is that apple pear.
I was going to say green apple. For me, I definitely get that in there, but that smells very nice.
Sometimes you get them where you get a little toasty, a little bready. You'll hear that, or biscuit sometimes described as that. I'm not really getting any of that though. I get mostly just kind of a clear expression of fruit.
Okay.
In there.
They're not just calling you names while they're having it.
Toasty and biscuity.
Toasty and biscuit. Hey, it's biscuit over here. Look,
biscuit.
he's having that wine. Quit having that biscuit.
Another biscuit for breakfast.
Yeah. But no, that actually, honestly, now if you handed me, I'm like, oh, that's okay. I'm enticed.
It's very light. It's kind of easy drinking in a way. I mean, the fruit is nice. It's just it kind of makes my mouth water a little bit, and it doesn't layer super heavy.
No.
Which is nice. I know sparkling wines, they say are another option for like Thanksgiving dinners where you're having heavier meals because the bubbles kind of can scrub your palate a little bit. So
kind of cut through some of the fattier things, your meats and things like. Okay, right. Sure.
But I like them when I wouldn't say it's dry. It's not sweet, obviously, but there is some fruit there. I've had others that are drier, have a little bit more of that kind of higher toasty note in there, but we're just it's pretty good. That
definitely, I actually think this is really good. I'm actually enjoying that. Like I said, the carbonation is not overwhelming. I'm kind of surprised. I thought it was going to be a little bit more intense and a little bit more of a sharper type, but it's actually pretty soft bubble wise. I know, which is a silly thing to comment on, but to me, that's also sometimes a little bit of a turn off when it's just like
too much. Yeah, the salt.
Exactly. And it's not, there is a little bit of tartness there, but the sweetness kind of balances that out. It is on the lighter side, but it's very easy drinking. Right. Like I said, this is literally screaming for some, charcuterie platter of like cheeses and meats and different things, and enjoying, like some of the fattier stuff like you talked about. Like I'm actually enjoying drinking this. This is nice. I like this.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
No, like I said, I could, what would I want in something, like what would I be wanting in this? Probably a little more flavor. Like I think it is on the lighter side. Bit, I could use a little bit more apple or that pear or something like that. Right. But overall, what is there is very well balanced, which I'm enjoying. That's nice. Yeah. Again, I don't know, like a couple of the other ones you suggested, I know we're in the like $9 to $12 or something like that, $12 range. Like, I don't know, like you've had some of those and have liked those. To you, is it worth spending the extra $3 or $4 to have this one, or to have this experience? Like, oh, this is different in that way, so it's nice to have one of those around, but it wouldn't be my go-to. Or
I actually like there's a Prosecco we carried that I like a little better because it's a little drier. And it does give you a little bit of that toasty note in it, that higher kind of bready note that I like for a little more complexity. But this is very nice. And it'd probably be nice to try them side by side. Okay. It's been a little bit of time since I've had those other things, but those other two are ones I recommend. I could recommend this. I would just, if I was talking with somebody, I would just give it a little bit, would describe it. So here's what this is like. Right. If that's what you're looking for, then yeah, I definitely recommend it.
A little more easy drinking. Now, what is the one that you like? You think possibly a little bit better, if you want to mention that one, just in case people are looking.
It's a very complicated Italian name.
Okay, cool.
We have one that's
so just ask for Keith, no matter what Trader Joe's across the country you go to.
And there it's I think actually it goes far. Cecilia Beretta is the easier part, but then there's another name that's like way longer to say.
Okay.
But
and that one you like better.
We have 2 that come from that label. One is on the sweeter side. One is on the drier side. I like the drier one personally.
Just a little more complexity, you would say.
Yeah, just a little bit more to it.
Do you still get some of the apple, like that kind of like,
yeah, you still
like
get
nice
those
little
notes.
fruit that's in there? Okay.
It's different. It's different grapes though. Like Prosecco is made with grapes that you don't see, that I don't come across that often, which is why they're not in the memory banks right now. But
Gotcha.
Usually they are Prosecco is made with a few different types of grapes.
The ones that they're like, we have these extra ones in the back. They're like, we can make some Prosecco with that.
More native to Italy.
More native to Italy. And what is not native to Italy is our website at aboutbeverages.com. Although if you are in Italy, you could go to it. I don't think there's any laws against that there.
I hope not.
I don't think we're banned anywhere yet. That is the goal. We've been
That's
around,
our goal for 2021.
Been around for 12 years. Yeah, 2021. Let's get banned in some country, I guess. Yeah,
banned in a country.
There's some that's probably easier than others. But yeah, if you want to check out everything we have ever done, definitely go to the website. If you only want the latest videos going back, quite a few years now, but if you only want the latest videos and know when they go live, which we always put up at least a podcast every week, we would love it if you would subscribe to us on YouTube. That would be super awesome. We're definitely having some nice growth there. A lot of people watching a lot of the older stuff. And eventually the newer stuff becomes the older stuff. So eventually you'll be watching this too.
That's right.
It just takes a little while.
Just takes
It just takes a little while. And if you only want audio form, we got you covered there too. Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcast. If there is a podcast app that you like to use or service, search for About Beverages there. You will probably find us and take us along with you as you drive in your car, maybe go for a jog, a bike ride, something like that. Definitely take us along with you. And on top of that,
the 3 pillars of social media that you can find us on are Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Twitter is the one that we are most active on. We're going to let you know when we go live most Thursday nights on twitch.tv/AboutBeverages. That's when we record our podcasts. We interact with our viewers and talk about things, obviously beverages, but also other things as well. There's a little crazy behind the scenes stuff. These podcasts, they don't just happen without little breaks most of the time.
Yeah.
So you can be there when those discussions go on, but join us for that. You can also, Andrew is going to let you know throughout the week what he's going to be doing in the gaming world, what's going on there, where you can find him. So yeah, not twitch.tv.
It is.
Well, on twitch.tv/AboutBeverages, but yeah, follow us on Twitter and you can keep up to date with what's going on with About Beverages.
But as we always say, whether we like it or not,
you should give it a shot.